You're listening to the John and Heidi Show Bonus Hour. If you miss any of the program, you can find the podcast at the bottom of the page at sunnyradio.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday. It's a bonus hour right now. That means we've got an extra special guest that we're going to be joining with today. I actually have Don Lucca. He'll be on the program with us here in just a bit. He is the former chief of police for Miami Beach Police Department. And the thing that we're going to talk about is kind of a cool thing. It's called Watchfind. And there's a company that's helping people. I guess this is a big deal. Like 80% of people who have watches have had them stolen. Now, I've never had a cool enough watch to steal. But if I had a cool watch and somebody stole it, I would like to get it back. I've had other things stolen, and I would like those things back. And I've had some of those brought back to me, which is awesome. Watchfinder.com. That's what they do. That's a really cool service. And originally, we were going to talk to Sugar Ray Leonard and Don Lucca. And then I just got a message this morning that Sugar Ray Leonard's not going to be on the call. But that's okay. You know what? I'm still excited to chat with him because it's a really, really cool thing that they do. And I guess Sugar Ray Leonard had a watch stolen, so he was a customer. That's why we were going to have him on the line. Because I'm like, what does he have to do with watches? He's a boxer. But that's what's going on. By the way, I want to remind you, before we take a little break here and come back with Don Lucca, I want to remind you that you can still register to win tickets for this weekend at Grand Falls Casino and Golf Resort. We have Comedy Weekend, Friday, April 28th, Williams and Ree. Very funny guys. They'll be there this Friday, 8 o'clock. And this Saturday, Whitney Cummings. That is also at 8 o'clock this Saturday. And I get to be the MC for both of those shows. So if you get a chance to get tickets, I'll be there and I'll wave at you, up from the stage. Also want to remind you, Bacon Fest is this Saturday as well. It's a busy weekend. I get to be a judge for Bacon Fest, and I'm going to see if I can get some of the folks from Bacon Fest to chat with me on the radio this week as well. I don't have that lined up. I've got the note laying here to remind me to line that up. So hopefully I can make that happen, and then we can chat with them later in the week as well. But either way, join us for Bacon Fest. The note says it is this Saturday, April 29th, from noon until 3 p.m. at Remedy, and that is Remedy Brewing Company at 611, and that is on West Avenue. That's the new Remedy Brewing location. It's a cool place. That's where we're going to be doing Bacon Fest this Saturday. All the details at facebook.com/sunnyradio and facebook.com/Sioux Falls News.
What a year. With prices on everything going up, it's more important than ever to have a better credit card. Some people use a credit card that's not a very good one. At bettercreditcards.com, we offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we probably have it at bettercreditcards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. I was reading a statistic that amazed me. It says 1/3 of Americans have had their watches stolen, which is just crazy to me. And our guest today is the former chief of the Miami Beach Police Department, Don Lucca. And we're going to chat a little more about this and then also maybe some things people can do. So first of all, that number sounds really high to me, but this is pretty common, isn't it, Don?
Yes, it is. It's a crime of opportunity. People work in and around businesses, in and out of homes, and it happens. There's great value in watches, and today they're probably more valuable than ever.
When you say it's a crime of opportunity, where is this typically happening? Now, I know you were with the Miami Beach Police Department. Is it like when people are at the beach and they're getting in the water, or where is this kind of thing happening?
So it could be, exactly, they leave their valuables on a beach towel, they working out in a gym, it could be their household, under construction, it could be their businesses, hotels. It's a crime of opportunity. If you don't secure your watch properly, this is what can happen. And that's why we're here today, is to address this issue. Watchfinder has launched a campaign to address exactly this. The theft of watches and the resale of them, how to break that cycle.
And Watchfinder is the one that kind of put out this thing that said 80% of those watches that were stolen were never recovered. So that's a lot of watches that people spent money on and kind of hoped that they would have in their family probably for a long time. 80% of those never, ever came back. That's really sad.
Well, I would say this, John, you can identify a watch by a serial number. And if you haven't kept that serial number, that's the first problem. The second thing is, the police just put it into a computer, NCIC, FCIC, if it turns up, and there's 18,000 police departments. What this website does is it enables the owner of a watch to put their information ahead of time at no cost. And that in itself is a big deterrent because people will find out that, hey, I just can't sell this this watch. I might get caught. It's a deterrent. It's going to break the cycle. And that's what the goal here is, to inform the community through this campaign, police departments on board and grow that in the communities of the people they serve.
So this Watchfinder, I register my watch there like right after I purchase it, or how do I do that?
Well, listen, that would be ideal. You buy from a reputable business who says, hey, listen, right now you go to this website, you register your watch, or right now when they hear this, they can go online to watchfinder.com and register the watch. I've done it. It takes less than 5 minutes, and I encourage people to do it because you will be notified if somebody goes to sell that watch, it shows up at a business, you'll be notified, and it's a great way to intervene in this cycle.
And what is that process like to register a watch? Is it a pretty simple process, or is it more challenging?
Well, I'm not a tech guy, and I tell you, but I did it on my iPhone yesterday. It took less than 5 minutes. You go to the website, 3 easy steps, and I hope that your listeners will take the time to do it to safeguard, and you said it earlier, a valuable that probably means more intrinsically their grandfather, it's been in their family for 50 years, is a way to protect that from being lost, because you can't replace that. And I've seen it firsthand. That sentimental value doesn't matter to replace the watch. It's something that's been in their family for 50 years.
And I'm reading here that 34% of Americans had their watch stolen. The average value is $1,148. Now, that's the average. There's some people that have, like me, like a $5 watch, and then people who have the expensive ones.
Well, listen, if it means something to you, that's one thing. If it has a value, that's another thing. But I think, when you make a major purchase of anything, you've got to protect it. And this is what, the company is asking you to do. And the campaign is trying to inform people to encourage them to do it, to curb this behavior. But also, when you buy a watch, the first thing is you buy it from a good business that you've checked out. That's the first step a buyer should do. And after that, they got to take care of it and register it. And, you would hear that from any police chief across America.
And this is something that kind of affects everybody, but there's some very famous people who've struggled with this. And I know originally we were going to have one of them join us. Sugar Ray Leonard is one that he had this happen 30 years ago, so he knows firsthand. But this is something that happens to many, many, many people, well-known people, and also just regular folks like us.
You're absolutely right. It's much easier to move a small object like a watch than it is to take a TV or big items, and there's a market for it. What we're trying to do is end that market by educating our public.
If somebody would like more information, do they just go to the website then, watchfinder.com? Is that all they need to do?
Exactly. They go to the website, watchfinder.com, log on there. They can find it where it says register your jewelry, and they can take it from there.
Very nice. Thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. Again, our guest today, Don DeLuca, was the former police chief of Miami Beach Police Department and now helping with Watchfinder.com to get the message out. I'm going to throw a link to make it easy to find all of the information at Facebook.com/Sunny Radio and Facebook.com/Sioux Falls News.
Did you know you can allocate a percentage of your IRA to physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can put your IRA back on the gold standard. Genesis Gold IRA is the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. GenesisGoldIRA.com would like to help protect your IRA today with a simple phone call. Learn more and get the phone number at GenesisGoldIRA.com. That's GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Time now for This Day in Sioux Falls History, brought to you by the Sioux Falls Fun Page and Sunny 93.3. It was on this day, April 24th, 1999, that Sioux Falls citizen and former Chief Justice of the South Dakota Supreme Court, Roger Leland Woolman, is appointed as the Chief Justice of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 8th Circuit. Justice Woolman served the South Dakota Supreme Court for 15 years, including serving as Chief Justice for 5 years from 1978 to 1982. He had the unique honor of swearing in his brother Harvey L. Woolman as governor of South Dakota on July 24, 1978. Roger Woolman was appointed to the 8th District Court by President Ronald Reagan in 1985. He would continue in service until December 14, 2018, a total of 33 years. A majority of that time was spent as an associate justice. However, for a 2-year span, beginning on this day in 1999, Associate Justice Woolman became Chief Justice Woolman of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 8th Circuit. This has been This Day in Sioux Falls History, brought to you by SiouxFallsFunPage.com and Sunny 93.3.
How much do you pay for your cell phone every month? If it's more than $15, it's time for a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring in your current phone. iPhones and Samsung phones both work well with Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying, just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Monday, April 24th, brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Equity markets ended the week on a down note after a host of earnings reports came in better than expected, but left the outlook for the second half in peril. Consensus estimates for the second half earnings growth continue to decline and have Q3 on the brink of turning negative. This on top of a growing certainty that a recession is coming. The only question is when. The takeaway from last week's economic calendar is that the index of leading indicators fell to minus 1.2, nearly double the expectation and an acceleration of recessionary factors. This, by the way, is the 15th month of negative leading indicators, and the trend is strengthening. This week will bring another read of the PCE price index, and it may not be enough to get the market back into rally mode. You can get the inside track from Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at MarketBeatMinute.com.
InsuranceChicken.com wants to know, how much are you paying for your insurance? I know it seems like a hassle to switch to a different company, but if you can save a few bucks, it's worth crossing the road to InsuranceChicken.com. We have several of the top insurance companies trying to earn your business. They do that by offering great insurance that is cheap. Okay, enough of the silly chicken puns. It's time to get serious about saving you money on your insurance at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.